1,561 square meters, which is having a population of about 76,983, with the 89% that is unemployed. So having said that, you'll see on your previous slide when you are talking to your background regarding the presentation, Chairperson. Can you go to the background, please? Slide number 3, which is telling us that the illegal mining in Barberton is very rife. There are communities that are residing in this mining, being the foreign nationals, being the people that are local, but it has a very much impact in our economy because as and when people are unemployed, as you could have seen that I said, the 89% of this population here are not employed, but the economy is being affected because the illegal minings are here. They are doing everything in their power to ensure that they are infecting the economy, and the society as large is being affected. And the modus operandi in this regard is that they are using the source of income for illegal dealers, the refiners, the smelters, and the receivers in that regard, Chairperson. But I will not be staying much on that. The legislative framework will pass that. We will know the Constitution and all other legislation framework that is going there. I'll start with the root causes, where we also, when we were busy with this, we see that there is more influx of people that are coming for job opportunities, coming from the neighboring countries in Barberton. And you will also realize, Chairperson, that also the limited securities in the mines, many mines are being tampered with, but you find that the security in that regard are not as effective as we will be expecting. And in that regard, you also have the corrupt elements that are being infiltrated, neither be in the police side, in the community, in the security. The combination of that, I think, is the one that is also ensuring disturbing the economy and making sure that these illegal miners are getting the opportunity to mine illegally. So, and you also have these borderlines that you've got your Mozambique, you've got your Swaziland also, that the foreign nationals people are also entering into our province, and that becomes a problem. So I will be going maybe to the issue of the life sentences when you go into that as the root causes, that sometimes when people are being arrested, the life sentences are not being as much as we could be expecting from that. Then the next slide, I think, is the summary of all that I have been speaking in the previous slide. I just want to go straight to pillar number 1, the focus area. We must be taking cognizance that illegal mining is a serious problem for all of us. Now, all the structures that have been established are intending to be proactive, are intending to ensure that the high visibility approach is being intended. But so far, our main challenge for that is that the integration of that is not showing us exactly what we're supposed to be yielding result, because the structures that are there, the illegal miners, they come there, they're building their houses in the mine. You go into the Shiva, for example, whereby you find that there are many houses that are there. There are machines, there are medals, everything is there that is there. But the problem is, why are we not succeeding in arresting those illegal miners? Why are we not succeeding in ensuring that even if when they are being arrested, they are life sentences? Why are we not succeeding in ensuring that everyone that is supposed to be involved in mining is legal? Why are we having so many illegal miners in our system and we are not doing anything about that? But as we will be going that, you'll find that, Chairperson, the statistics also shows that as much as we will be saying from April to September 2022, for example, there was a success of arresting 288 people in regard to that. But in that regard, when we are doing that, are we succeeding in giving them the sentences that those that are remaining behind will not be continuing with that exercise of illegal mining? The answer is simply no. The question is going to be for us to can ask ourselves, why are we not succeeding in that regard? It will call for all of us because, as I said, all the structures that are there, we do know what is the problem. But to solve that problem, the corrupt element is kicking in, and we are not successful in ensuring that that element of corruption is being interrogated and being dealt with accordingly. Hence, you'll see the less number that has been arrested, but the high number of illegal miners that are increasing every day with all the resources that you may not know where do they find them. So you are speaking of the bosses that are sending these illegal miners. So you are speaking of the runners that are doing the activities in that regard. But those bosses, when we arrest as the structures, the law enforcement, we are arresting people that are on the lower level, but we are not at this stage being successful to can arrest the bosses of those that are being sent for illegal mining, chairperson. So the statistics for us does not mean anything, it's only a number. What can make us to feel free and make sure that we are succeeding is whereby we will be having only people that are responsible, that are having the right to can mine and ensuring that the economy is growing. But now the mines are infiltrated. The economy is being suffering. The economy does not show any sign of development. You could see when you talk of your security risk picture as it's being cited in the screenshot that people will be lying there, there will be 20, but out of 20, what are we gaining out of everything that we are doing? What are we getting? Are we able to can say and we detect the bosses that are there? Because these people that we are arresting at the same time, we believe they are the wrong people. So we are still struggling to can fight, to can get the kingpins of these illegal minings. You go into those minings, and chairperson, you'll be surprised. You go to the Machado, you got the one of the Sabi, you got the one of Pilgrim Rest. Their houses are built in that regard. And how do they get it right if some of us at the high positions, some of us in the big structures, we are not funding these people? Because by show of eyes, you can see that the people that are lying here, they cannot be affording all these resources that are expensive, that are being bought to can ensure that the mining are being dealt with in that regard. So these criminal syndicates are being funded somewhere. Then you have firearms that are very much high caliber of firearms. They've got all these resources that even in the event of the signal that they are using for the radio communication, when you come and approach, they can also only know that there are people coming. Their means of communication, they are more advanced in ensuring that they are not being arrested. You find the room that they are sleeping, it will be this room as it is, big as it is, it can carry about 5,000 of them, and they will make sure they are there with all their resources. That is one of our main challenges as law enforcers, because we do not have the means of resources that can tie with the resources that these illegal miners are being utilizing to can ensure that we infiltrate, to ensure that we can also monitor where they are. So it's one gray area that we have to be looking into a chairperson going forward. So on these mines, we are having almost the similar problems that are there. And I just want also to go to the screen where we are going to be talking about the pillars to save time. I took note of what you said to say you don't want the papers, you must speak less and come up with a solution regarding that. And just to give a few or one scenario of saying that 2 weeks back, a week ago, when we were here in Babaton, we had a disruptive operation. In that operation, Chairperson, that is where you could have seen that this thing is a well-organized factor or syndicate that will be making sure that these people, when they go there, they are planning in whatever they're doing. When we enter, because the operation Chairperson started at 4 a.m., the houses that they slept in there, there's a house for the Sangoma, just to make sure that when you arrive, they'll be seeing that. And it's true, you go there, it's a full house. Those people are well prepared. You do have the house of the generator where they'll be planting their things. You have the house that they are having the copper cable where they're smelting everything. You have the dam where they're washing, all these things that they're doing. So the minute you come, wherever they were coming, their radio communication, they started to be activated. And we, as the police or any other structures were there, we don't have the resources to can match the resources that they are having. The minute we entered there, they were gone. The minute we entered, because remember, the Sangoma is doing his job. The radio communication, they're doing this job. The only person that was left there was the Sangoma. Am I right, General? It was the Sangoma. He made sure he's there. The Dumba was there, and they were marching orders. You walk up until here, otherwise you'll see to finish. So there are threats also that you have to be careful and be mindful that now entering this mine, this is what you are going to be expecting. And you find that when you look into what they are putting on their windows there, one have to think twice, because it shows that as the structures that you are intending to be fighting illegal miners, we are not ready to can face this challenge that you are having. It's good to speak from a distance and say, people, we are not doing enough, but going practical in that environment, it shows that we need to be coming up with the resources that will also be able to can match what is there. I'm speaking of the cameras that can be elsewhere. I'm speaking of the drones that can be utilized. I'm speaking of the equipment that can be able to can zoom from far, because even when they're running and hiding the bushes, they lie in a manner that even if it means they go underwater, they'll do it. So when we do that, all those things, I think these are some of the things that over and above the corrupt elements that you are having within the structures, respective of which one. The resources are very much important for us to can be dealing with the illegal mining. Our informants and the intelligence need to be upped and upgraded to can ensure that before we even go there, we are sure that those people are being there. The catch is, Chairperson, one of our challenges is that we can plan structures, but out of us, most of the time there will be one that information will leak. The information will just go out. Because when we arrive there, all those things that we said we are going to get with the arrest that we are intending to can effect, most of the time, if you speak loud, it's highly possible that you are going to succeed in that regard. So during that day, we only managed to arrest the 3 miners that were there, and then we also managed to can confiscate most of the items, being the generators, the pendugas, and the detectors that are there, the gas cylinders, the compressors. They have everything that is expensive. But you can just imagine, because those people, the clothes and everything, the food that they're having, you can see that these people, they're working for someone. However, before I conclude, Chairperson, the challenges that normally that you are experiencing with all the structures, being our public or private sectors that you are having, is just most of the time, people are also mining there, they do not have permits Some they do have the proximity, but they did not have the mining permits, and they are there. Some of us they do have the rights to can do that, but the landlord also they will say that we did not give the permission, but people are mining in my area, and the DMR also is being intimidated when the inspection is being conducted, because that intimidation it calls for that. Because that Sangoma will come out with this his regalia that is so nice, and you'll be intimidated, seriously so, that being an inspector, you shall have to say whatever that you want to say in a few minutes and say you are out. So it's one area that we have to be looking in, that one chairperson, and the transportation thereof, chairperson, that when the equipment are supposed to be confiscated. And also there are many cases that when you look, the cases are also being struck off the road, and because the information is incomplete, the statements are not being structured in the way that is supposed to be. They don't have the elements of crime in it that will enable the NPA to can continue with the case, and with having that facilities that are not enough or adequate for subs members to can be putting and storing all those people there. So in the main, also the shortage of the physical and human resources from the Department of Home Affairs is also very much important, because it's good and advisable to can know that in the province how many foreign nationals are in the province, how many are having the legal documents. If they don't, what are we doing with them? Because these are people that we are saying from the borderlines of Swaziland, all the port of entries where these people are coming in, they are having so many illegal documents that we know that the Home Affairs should have been there to can also assist us to make sure that these people are taken to task as required. But also the issue of the drone